Hey guys, welcome in to episode 2 of A Tiny Review. Today I'll be reviewing a recent solo game I played the other day, and I'll talk about the things I felt that I did right, and the things I especially did wrong. This one will be a bit longer since I forgot to record it during my stream, so grab your favorite snack, sit back, and we'll start to unpack. Let's get into it. I'm gonna steal that bunker fake out. Yeah. I saw a video one time. I can't tell you what video it was. I don't usually land at this location, but the bus route didn't look too good to me. He threw some splashes, and then the enemy went in that direction of the splashes, and then he turned around and he shot them. That was pretty nice. Alright guys, Streamlabs says, time you hear your best family. Plus I had a crown, so I wanted to keep my drop kind of low-key. One out loud. I'll do that after this game. I think I got enough. So right here coming into the land, I'd noticed a glider icon, so I wanted to land on the first weapon I seen. I didn't quite know where this player was going to land, so I was going to run into the buildings behind me. Then I heard his glider noise, and that told me how close he was, so I just decided to push him. Right here I got super lucky. I didn't notice he purchased the clinger bot before I eliminated him, and apparently when the clinger bot dies, he drops explosives. I didn't know that. But luckily I didn't take all my health, and there was a vending machine by me. So after buying heals, I noticed another glider incoming. So I ran into cover, and I used my big pot for shield before going to push him. As I'm shielding, I'm going to walk out of the building here, and I'm going to start looking for this player. Somebody landed here. I threw clingers to hopefully damage him some before I moved. After that, I put out my shotgun since he was kind of in shotgun range, but of course I missed all those shots. So I pulled out my AR instead. So right here, you'll notice as I start to shoot, I slowly start walking back and to my left. So what I'm doing there is I'm using this tree to my left as cover. Not only does it keep me covered from his shots, it's also giving me a right shoulder peek so that I can see him, but he can't see me. After putting enough damage on him, I decided to jump over and finish the fight with my shotgun. You remember that video? Yeah. That was a good video. Now that I have time, I'm gonna look for better loot. I low-key missed the end because I was setting up... Aw, D, go back. Oh, is that what happened, Alter? Welcome in, by the way. Why did I waste that? Alright, I'm trying so hard not to read these jokes right now, but it's tempting. Oh, tower's not spawning there. That sucks. Anyone else ever not get into those windows? I hear a blue chest. Guess I can go lavish from here. So here I'm just deciding where to go from here. And I'm also watching for the players fighting up on that hill from me. Grabbing this for, Tony. Forgot his name for a second. Lavish was claimed. I think I finally decided going to Lavish. 1 for a mod bench and 2 for a medallion if possible. Up there. There's a medallion there. Oh! Don't do that. Oops, my bad. The car's on fire. If I can get there, guys, I'm gonna do something really mean. So I hesitated because I seen a player run into the building on my left. So I'm also just scoping out the area and deciding what I want to do, because there was also a medallion holder in the area. Is there mythics yet? Yeah. There's 2 people here. One's in that building. And then there's a medallion. Dang. If he saw me, he gave me away. I don't want to shoot that guy yet. So this first guy ended up being AI. Oh no. But then the medallion player came out and started shooting me, so I tried to run to cover. Didn't work. I have no mobility. So at this point I know he is upstairs, so I come in and I run around looking for mobility in case I need a quick getaway. So I'm going to use this cloak to get around and sneak into the vault. Wait, I thought they killed Oscar. Why are they here and not killing him? Is it in the vault? But I noticed the medallion was in the vault. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hug this wall and I'm going to use my camera to make sure he's not sitting in the corner before I enter the vault. I need a mythic. I have no mobility. I bet he's gonna be waiting for me. I'm gonna have to drop the medallion. So after modding, I head to the front of Lavish to get more heals in the car. Alright, My last bit of gold. I won't be able to mod. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of jokes coming through. I'm not gonna look at them yet. Oh no. That's what happens when I look at my minimap. I feel like he's gonna be right there. So at this point, I know I need mobility, so I decided to drive towards a mythic drop. I couldn't drive apparently. Oh so instead of wasting more time, I decided to ditch the car and make a run for it. Who does that? Who destroys the... Unfortunately, someone destroyed the vending machine here. Who destroys the vending? I can get to this card and that mythic, that'd be nice. I need mobility. I'll get mobility first. So I did see on my minimap the forecast card, and I decided to pick it up on my way to the mythic drop. So what I'm gonna do, instead of immediately going to the tower to drop the key card in, I'm gonna go grab the mythic because I know I need mobility. Grab my bunkers, go get that car. And when I was grabbing the mythic, I also noticed a chew wagon in the area. So after the forecast tower, I go back for my bunkers that I dropped and the vehicle for a quick getaway. Guys, I'm not trying to take so much storm damage this time. Just worked out that way. Feeling a little bit hungry. I have to go and hit the gas station. I'm gonna go through Reckless to the vending there. I need heals pretty bad, but luckily I was close to a gas station. Somebody's here. Can't stay out of storm this game. Try to go island to mod. Island's far, it's probably already claimed. No, it's not claimed. I'm gonna head towards island, but I noticed this player looting very slowly, so I decided to catch him off guard. Which was his mistake, because you could see how slowly he's just out in the open, taking his time to decide what loot he wants to grab. So that was a huge mistake on his part. Unfortunately, I almost put myself in a bad spot also, but I knew I was at a disadvantage and got back in the car and drove off. Yes, we're on a car chase. This guy in the car was not letting up, so I decided to keep the pressure up on him to make him back off. I don't think he was expecting me to steal his car, but neither was I. It was not my initial plan. But you weren't expecting that. Neither was I, to be fair. I know that he was following me still because he had medallions and I saw him on my mini-map. Nobody's camping up here. Once I'm on island, I make sure to reload everything because he was still chasing me. So my first instinct here was to get to high ground. Once I saw and heard the zip, I knew I needed to keep the pressure on him. Sorry, it had to be that way. Sorry. So that was one of my best snipes so far. I've never done that before, but it was pretty good. So I was going to capture island, but then I realized I didn't really need the loot there, so I decided to leave and to head to zone. If I would have stayed any longer, I probably would have been dead to storm. Hot dog? Is that one of the jokes? So down here I noticed someone took a snipe at me, but I didn't know where they were, so I continued to zone. What a snipe. I know. Thank you. That was good. You're 2 minutes behind? No, I think you're good. Intersect is blue, and there's a medallion over there. How many do I have? 3. And one's on the ground still. I decided to stop and make sure I wasn't being followed, or to possibly get a shot at this person, because I didn't want them at my back, in zone. How am I doing? You're new to my channel. I've been watching Toby play for a while now. Oh, thank you, Adrian. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So here I'm trying to find a spot that is on the edge of both zones. Since I have the forecast tower, I could see that future circle. So I'm trying to find the best intersect. Should I go after that medallion, or do we think it's a trap? But I'm also noticing a medallion on the ground in the area. Welcome in, Adrian. Right here is where I made a huge mistake. I saw the medallion on the ground, so I was thinking, I bet there's someone in the bush baiting it. So I thought I would clear the bush. But instead of driving through the bush like I probably should have, I stopped and hung out of the window to take some shots on him. So I got a few shots on him, and then I ended up getting out of the car, but I got out on the passenger side, which put me in a bad spot. I ended up taking a lot of damage from this huge mistake. In the future, I would definitely drive through the bush and make sure to get out on the opposite side of the player if I do so. So I did come to this bush to heal and hopefully reposition, but they started throwing clingers, so I needed to leave quickly. But luckily I had mobility and was able to get away when the third party entered the fight. Why did I do that? I mean, I shot him. I might have just blown the game here, guys. I shot him because I was chancing that somebody was camping in the bush because that medallion was on the ground.
I didn't mean to have my sniper out to begin with.
So I head to the closest cover and zone that I can find.
No.
I think here, though, I probably should have cleared it first before running straight into it. Someone could easily have eliminated me, especially if they had a pump shotgun. I could have been dead there. So next time I would at least shoot the bush as I'm running up to it to make sure nobody's in there. So I see this fight here, and I try to keep the pressure on that person since they're in a pretty vulnerable spot down there. But I'm also turning and checking behind me because I was pretty sure someone was still at my back. Again, I'm trying to keep the pressure up on this player. He's not in a good spot, so I'm trying to just let all the other players around him see him and let them know that he's in a bad spot. I'm gonna check my back again. Back here somewhere. So someone else shot at me. So now I know where 2 players are. Unsure at this point where the 3rd is. I think my back is good. So I noticed this fight go down, and I decide to use that as my advantage and reposition towards zone while they're distracted. So these shots behind me indicate that there was someone behind me that whole time. Now I've somewhat identified where this last player is. So I notice him shooting from the bush, so I tried to take a shot. So he's going to start shooting back at me. So I decide to sneak back over behind this tree where he can't see me. So I do admit, one thing here I notice is that I do get too focused in on this one player and I forget to look for the other player this whole time. So I probably should have looked around more and a lot more often. So finally he stops shooting at me and he starts shooting in another direction. So I'm trying to look around to see where he is shooting so I can find that 3rd player. But then I notice the feet behind me, so I turn in that direction to try to shoot at them. Meanwhile, I'm also watching the other guy move up the hill. The moment they start to fight, I know I have to move in. 1, to get to zone, and 2, to keep the pressure up and give this player less time to heal after the fight is finished. So I'm going to take the time here to make sure I'm reloaded before I make my next move. Now I'm just going to crouch and kind of sneak around while I decide my next options. So at the moment, the only thing I could think of doing was to sneak up and flank him. But then I notice his feet, so I'm watching to see where he's going. So as soon as I see him on my left side, I quickly turn and put a shot on him. After damaging him for 110, I decided to push. GG's. 1, because I was trusting that he wasn't healthy from the last fight, and 2, I didn't want him to have time to heal if he wasn't healthy. So I was able to win in the end. I think definitely I made a few mistakes that I could have easily avoided, but I also think I made a lot of smart decisions, especially as far as repositioning and keeping the pressure up on people. I used to struggle a lot with not pushing people and giving them too much time to heal, and by the time I finally pushed them, they're healthy and it cost me the fight. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helps you in any way. Hopefully you can see my mistakes and learn from them, and use anything you found helpful to use in your own gameplay. And also, if you saw any mistakes that I may have made and forgot to mention, let me know in the comments what you think I did and what I could have done to improve. So if you stayed this far and enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But most of all, I thank you guys so much for hanging out and taking the time and watching my video. See y'all later.